Okay, guys. So in previous class, we completed our coding part and like whatever classes we needed to generate any JWT token, it's done. And the I did some minor changes like this properties file. Earlier it was open 9874. Now I have disabled it. So again, this application will run on default port that is 8080. And yeah, let me just show you the classes which I added. So config, we have these three four classes. Let's close all extra classes from here. Close all tabs. Okay. So first is, I mean, from the top arms, showing up. It's not like in a sequence way. So this class is from config package JWT authentication filter. So have a look on the packages. Okay, you can of course in future you can pause this video and check this out. Then we have auto-add these two classes here and added this method do filter internal, and this is the code for you know uh, taking over every request it goes through this application. Next is JWT service, which has our unique any random alphanumeric letters, and these are the packages. Okay, holding up so you can have a look from where I'm porting all these things. Import is important, right? From which package we are importing. That's why I always show you that these are the classes imported from this package. Okay, now have these methods. Okay, fine. So from here we focused on generate token, and I have rearranged these methods so they might look different. Is valid and load by something, no, extract username, something like that. It was, yeah, there it is, extract username. So these three methods are kind of critical. We should know how these things are working. Okay, next was security config. So we have enabled configuration and enable web security. Plus these are the packages. Again, have a look, pause and check what this is about. And two classes auto-word here through constructor injection. And this is critical. We already discussed it that we are enabling two endpoints, login and register. I just change this endpoint with admin only, so it makes more sense. Increase readability that we are telling only admin can access this URL. Why? Because this has the authority admin. So I just appended underscore only. Again, it's not hard and fast rule. You can add anything. Earlier it was just admin. I changed it to underscore only. Okay, everything is same. Let's have a look again. We can pause and see what I have just added here. Everything is same apart from that. Then we have added two classes here. One was for authentication, so these are the packages, and this was really simple, just two endpoints, one for registration, one for login. That's it. Okay, code formatted, done. Now we have one more endpoint which we will I mean we have you which we'll use later, that is login. Once you register, then definitely you want to log in yourself. That's for login. So both endpoints uses some functionality which is coming from auth service. So that's right inside service package, authentication service API. There it is. Okay, this implement this, and that's a simple interface with two method declaration, and it has two methods: register user, check if user is present or not. Then I remove that comment. Again, save user token in table. Okay, this is what we did. And next was authentication. So first, revoke, or you can say tokens um, from DB of logged in user. Okay, this is what it does do. It simply changes the boolean flag of it. So here we're doing it. Set logged out true. That's what's happening by using JWT functionality, lambda expression. We call this, the highlighted code is known as lambda expressions. So two methods are critical here. One is for register user request, or even user you can say, and this one is authenticate. And these are two supporting methods. I just moved all private methods below. One for revoking all tokens and one for save user token. Okay, now going back, these two methods are using some functionality which are coming from DAO level class token DAO. There it is. So there's a token DAO. We have created this method, and if you notice, earlier it was token underscore db. So the code was failing. Earlier it was like I wrote this way. Then later I realized that because we are writing HQL, okay, this is a part of HQL. Okay, we have already covered this in Hibernate, so you can have a look on it when we did a Hibernate class. So we are writing a Hibernate query languages which does not takes table name. It takes your class name, and my class name or the entity name is token. Likewise, we have another table whose name is user. Counterpart its user class. And if you notice how I'm fetching user ID, I'm saying t, which is the alias of token, t dot user dot id. Okay, that's how we're fetching. Earlier I was directly calling it by t dot user id, user underscore id. So that also I fixed here, which was causing issue. And same thing here, we are comparing it t dot user dot id, where user id is this one, and then logout should be false. Everything is same except the table names. It should not be table name which is in database. It should be that entity name. That one change I did here. Apart from that, everything's fine. And then, and of course, we created one user DAO for simple operation, find my username. And then we have model classes. So there is token class, simple class. We have many-to-one relationship with user class, and user is one-to-many implementation here, plus one more class is binded by using enumerated annotation. And this user class is implementing user details interface, which comes from Spring Security. Token class is quite simple, it doesn't have any special thing, simple Java class and done. But for user, we are actually using Spring Security class user details, which gives us some functionality like this: get password, get user, and we are using them in other classes. Okay, and apart from that, we also created one user detail service NPL. This one, this is for one default feature used by security configuration classes. By default, those classes use load user by username. So we are fetching everything from database. Okay, so we are done with the thing. Let's run our application and see how it works out. Okay, application is up. Not yet, it's running. It should create two tables. Yep, there it is. Create token, create user, giving or adding the primary key for relationship, and started on 8080, 5 seconds. I won't refresh the table now. So if you see no tables, let's refresh. Now we should have two tables, user table, okay, and token table. Fine, so we have two tables empty for now. Okay, that's fine. Of course, we haven't registered anything yet. I have some structure on Postman. Let's see that. So first thing is we want to register our user, right? And if everything was fine, as per the controller, the endpoint, it should give this authentication response class. Remember this class? We have token and message. So token should be the JWT token, and message should be that whatever operation happened, and that will come from straight from the controller class. Okay, so let's this looks awkward. Now better. Same way this as well. Okay, much more better. Okay, if you use a register user account and its implementation, it simply say if user is already in database, so it will throw a message which says user already exists with token null. Otherwise, it says user registration was successful, and we should get JW token. Okay, I renamed the variable. Earlier it was JW token or JWT. It's fine because JWT token, that looks kind of weird because T stands for token, Java Web Token. Okay, so JSON Web Token. Sorry. So T is already for token, so why should I add token again? So I just said JWT is better. Okay, so let's open the Postman. We have this register endpoint. Body is here, raw JSON. So this is the endpoint. Post register. Let's hit it and see the output. Request send. And yes, guys, we are finally getting our token. Okay, so message says user registration was successful and token is this. Okay, great. Let's check the database. So first check the user table, executed, and you can see first name, last name is null. Okay, we have to check why, but we have the password, we have user, we have username. What happened to the first name, last name? Let's have a look on field names. So user is here, first name and then last name. You guys can see it's camel case, right? Camel case, and I have given small n. That's why it happened. No worries. For now, we'll manually I'm doing it, but definitely we're going to register one more user after changing the code because I don't want to. Or we can do one thing. I'll do this thing and execute this code to see whether we can get the other output that user is already present, something like that. Okay, so I did that just to show you something. So let's suppose the user is saved, and just to fix this, we just need to capital this one. Oh, camel case, right? Why? Because our user has capital N here, first name, last name. Okay, this request is fixed. I'm going to send this request again with the same username, Shyam. Okay, and role is user. Request sent, and yep, it's working. User already exists. That means that logic is working. Where? Inside that register page. Okay, inside authentication service. This method request register user request. If it finds user in database, it says user already exists. So this logic also working. Cool. Okay, so we already have a logged in user. Now let's try to log in this user. Okay, so I have one structure here ready. Post request with request login, and user name is Sham, and password, let me check. It is 12345. Okay, that's fine. This is also 12345. So before that, let me send something else. Okay, some random request send, and it says bad credentials. Okay, not found. So, yes, makes sense. Let's make it Sham. Request send again, and yep, it says user login was successful. And if you notice, I guess they should be same. Let's notice this one, AUQI7 GIEH. Okay, I've lost that. Let's check a database. Yeah, I forgot to show you the token table. So execute, and there it is. And there it is. Okay, so user logged in. So there it is, AUQI7G1EH. Okay, so the token is there. And is logged out? No, that's a logged in user, 0. Okay, fine. Now what's next? We have successfully logged in the user, right? Let's verify this token, right? That's credential. That's important. These credentials should be checked. So let me copy this. We are going to follow that website, right? This is that we need to, that's JWT token website. So okay, JWT site at IO. Let's scroll. So we have generated our code, the token. I'll say paste it. There it is. And if you notice, this is here our subject Shyam. That's a generated time, and this is when this will get expire. You guys can see we have generated our own JWT token. That's cool, right? And then we can have all the special details. Fine. So we have our token ready. Now, how to verify other endpoints, right? If I request other endpoints, remember we have a REPA which has get one patient DB. Let's try to request this one. And if I check in database, we should get the patient record. Patient table is here. We have two records in database. Let's request ID1. Request send, and it says 401 unauthorized. Yes, obviously. Now we cannot request any endpoint unless you are providing token. The question is how to pass this token with the request, right? So first of all, whenever you log in, make sure that you see we are working at backend side, right? So we don't have any UI. For us, the UI is this Postman tool, right? So when we log in, you get this response. What you just need to do, copy this token and then go back to your endpoint and then go for authorization. Okay, and click on it, and you will see one where is that bearer token. Okay, there it is. And type Bearer. Okay, space, paste. This is what you have to do. Type bearer, give a space, and then paste it, paste that token, and hit the request again. Request send, and it says on the unauthorized again. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. Or I should pass this basic auth. No, not basic auth. That should work, right? Auth 2. Or let's try to pass in a header. Let's say it's no auth, that's fine. And in a header, let's try this out. Authorization, bearer, space, paste, okay. And request sent, and yeah, okay. We are using header for now, so that's fine. Give a key, your header key, authorization, that's reserved keyword, okay. So pass it as it is. We have multiple headers, you can pass authorization, and then type bearer and the token. This should also work. Or maybe I'm seeing up the type here, but that's fine. Header is also good place where you can pass your token. So token goes where? In your header or with inside your request. And if token is correct, only then you will get record. Let me remove this E from the starting, okay? Or anything. So I'm going to remove E removed. Going to request this endpoint again, and it says 401 unauthorized. Yep. So if you miss any single character or even if you add any space in between, it won't work. Let's add E space Y. Request sent, again unauthorized. Let me control Z. That space is gone between E and Y. Request send, and the same point is working. Likewise, if you take any endpoint and try to request it, it won't work. Let's try with get one virus by name. So if you check the database, virus database, there it is. I mean virus table. We have multiple viruses here, 1 to 6, and we are searching with name. Okay, get one virus by name. Request send. It will say again 401 unauthorized. So what you can do, you can just add that authorization key, there it is, and type BARER bearer space and paste. And then what? Request send, and yep, it's working. And what is that? Error data null corona 3. Okay, it's not here. That's fine. Let's say to at least you can see the response. It's not just saying 401 and there's record. It's working because we have token in our request, and that's it. That's how JWT token works. Once you have your endpoint and you want to test it, make sure you are passing your token in your header. So we have multiple ways that can be done through your Postman tool. Either you can use this authorization tag. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe I'm missing something here, but usually I don't use this tool. So maybe I'm wrongly understanding it, but for now you can use header. As I said, multiple ways are there to pass your token, so you can also use header section. So header section give your key name, the header key, and bearer, then space, and then this, and it should work as we are expecting it. So that's the whole anatomy of how you can generate the JWT token. Once you have your token ready, how you can use it and how you can analyze your token, just copy and paste it. Just for practice, let's register one more user. Okay, so there's register. Let's make it um, okay, and let's make them admin. Okay, I'm going to register one more user with admin role. Request sent. Okay, it's fine. User registration was successful. Let's check database. So user should have one more entry. Here it is, and the role is admin, and you can see first name and last name is working, all because of that camel casing. And role is admin. And if you check the token, request sent, third entry, user is still logged out, and yeah, that's token for the user. Randomly generated token, so don't worry about that. And if you just copy this token, copy it, going back to the site, and if you just paste it here, and you can see the subject is here, your details. We are adding that subject in our code, okay? Where? Let me show you. When we are generating token, wherever we are generating token, here it is, generate token, and you can see set subject. So what we are setting here, whatever user you're saving it, just get the username and set it into a subject. So right now I'm just setting a string. You can set the whole object inside it. Yep, that's possible. Just give the whole object, that will get saved. Again, totally depends upon requirement. So usually we keep minimal information to verify the user. We are not supposed to pass everything in the token. Okay, so that's done. Now what? We are registered the user. Now let's try to log in the same user. So that's the endpoint. Let's say username, request sent. It says user login was successful. Okay, let's change the name here. Let's say 1111 request sent, not found. Bad credentials. That's correct. Okay. Request send again. We have the token. Let's copy this token. When user login, I copied it. Going back to where's the patient here? Request send. This is working because of previous user, because that token is still not expired. That's fine. If I remove this one space and pasted request send, again this will work, right? Okay, that's fine. We have one more endpoint. Remember when we were creating this where authentication service, we created one not service, simple security config. We have created one more endpoint just to test whether admin can access or not, or user can access or not, right? Remember that endpoint? So let's try to test this endpoint. So simply localhost 8080, and I'll say admin underscore only. Okay, so this endpoint clearly says this can be accessed by only admin. And if you guys notice, we have two types of user. One user is Shyam, one user Ram, and Shyam is normal user. So what I'll do, any ID with marked with ID 1. So I'll go back here, user ID 1. I'll copy this token. Okay, I copied that. Going back, definitely this won't work, right? If I send the request, it will say 401 authorized. Okay, and if I go for header, type authorization, type BAERER space and paste. Request send, it says again. Now you can see difference is, it's not 401, it says forbidden. Why? Because endpoint is for admin. But what we are requesting here, we are requesting something with some endpoint which is requested only for admin part. And the token I've copied, that's for user. Now let's copy the token for admin. So here I will try to remove these tokens. Yeah, we have to be very critical. It's a critical thing, so very cautious. Space, paste, and now I have given token for from the admin user. And this time let me request it and see. Request sent, unauthorized. Okay. That we have to check why it failed. It has admin authority. Okay. Uh, okay, actually I copied some different token. I need to copy login credentials, right? This one. Yep, this one. That's from this user. So here it is copied, and going back to admin endpoint. Let's remove this endpoint. Space, paste, and request sent. Yeah, it's working. It says 20 and no static message. That's fine, but you can say request is found, right? Because we haven't added anything, but request is successful. That's what I want to show you. We haven't added any like endpoint or something. If you want, you can create one endpoint and it will work. But idea was to show you this 200. So you can create one endpoint just to handle it. Well, let's create it right away. Just for testing, we need to create one, get request. So any get request I can pick. Really simple. I'm not going to make it any fancy. Just a quick testing. Copied, going back to authentication control, just to show you that admin thing. I'll say admin only endpoint. Okay, admin underscore only, and I'll say string admin only. We don't need any password or ID something, just leave it blank. And here I'll say return request is successful. Okay, and send one. That's it. Just want to make sure that admin endpoint is working. Executed the endpoint. Okay, and fine, already up. Let's request, and you can see request is successful. Why? Because this is copied from something which has admin credentials. To again verify you, let's log in from Sham record. Okay, SHYAM request sent. User logged in. So Sham is actually just a normal user. He is not the admin. So I copied his credential, going back for admin endpoint and remove this from here. Okay, bearer space paste. These are user token request sent, and you can see it says 4034 button. Now let's verify it. Going back, these are credentials. Request sent. User logged in successfully. Copied the token. Going back to the same admin page or endpoint. Remove everything. Space paste, and these are admin tokens. Request sent. Yeah, request is successful. So it clarifies that if you mark any endpoint in your service security config file, simply whitelisting this thing. I remove that. That's a different whitelisting the endpoints. So if you do this thing, then you can definitely control your request flow. So I have said admin only, admin. So now admin can access this endpoint, and this access endpoint could be anything like showing up some admin dashboard page where admin will see all the details of the user and control that behavior. So that's something like that you can manage it. So that's where our JWT token topic ends. So if something comes up, we can add in our next class. Otherwise, we are done with the Spring Boot main special, or you can say kind of complex topic, that is how to secure your APIs. Because earlier when we wrote our APIs, when we were just learning Spring Boot, so that was quite straightforward. Just create endpoint and access them. But here we want to make them secure. Definitely code is complex, but once you write this code multiple times, then it will make more sense and it will be more simple. So try this out. I have like show you all the code where the code thing is. Just have them try to write your own code. If you have some issue, come back to me. I'll and sort that out. So that's it for today. Let's meet in next video. Bye bye.